According to Homeland Security, millions of men, women, and children are trafficked each year worldwide, being forced into some sort of labor or commercial sex act. A local woman, once a victim of the sex trade, has been advocating for victims for the last several years. Nikki Bell has founded LIFT, or Living in Freedom Together, an outreach in Worcester dedicated to empowering survivors. She spoke recently with Carolee McGrath about both her work and a controversial proposal to decriminalize prostitution.
I founded LIFT in 2014, and LIFT was founded as a means to support myself. I'm a survivor of trafficking and prostitution, and so when I exited the life, there weren't really community supports for women like myself, and so LIFT initially began as a support group for women that were 20 years out of the life, women that were still involved in prostitution, and everywhere in between. We very quickly there realized that no matter how much pizza we offered, people weren't going to come to a support group that were trapped in the life. And so we partnered with a faith-based organization and started a drop-in center, which was really just, some clothes out of my closet, a pot of coffee, and other survivor volunteers, inviting women that were involved in street-level prostitution in to have a cup of coffee, get some clean clothes. Now we have multiple programs. We run a program at Hampden County House of Correction, an educational program for prostituted women, help them with reentry supports. We have 2 community-based advocates. We run a diversion program with our district attorney's office. So women that are arrested for prostitution charges are not arraigned on them, and their pre-trial arraignment sent to diversion services with LIFT. And we just recently opened Jana's Place, a 16-bed residential program for prostituted women with co-occurring substance use and mental health disorders.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about your story. You said you're a survivor of human trafficking. What happened to you?
So as a teenage girl, I was recruited into the life. I had some stuff going on at home. My mother was ill. And my parents had divorced, and an adult male recruited me into prostitution as a late teen. After my mother passed away, ended up really kind of spiraling out of control in and out of psychiatric units, treatment programs, until I landed in Worcester for treatment. When I got to Worcester, I decided I was going to start my life over in a really unsafe place, and then was introduced into street prostitution at about 24 years old, where I spent the next 10 years of my life or so in and out of incarceration, being arrested, being violated on a daily basis by sex buyers, and until 5.5 years ago when I was able to exit.
How did you do that?
So, I often don't say this out loud, but unfortunately for me, I again was arrested, but that is not how I actually got out, because, the reality was I was arrested 30-something times throughout my time in prostitution, and never once was I able to remain exited. I think for me, it was like getting involved in social justice work and like supporting other women that had been prostituted that was able to help me feel like I had a purpose in this world apart from my body, right? And so for me, that was like the really significant piece.
You talked a little bit about substance abuse. How is this intertwined with human trafficking? Does substance abuse sort of start the path for women, or does it happen as a result of the trauma, or does it happen at the same time?
So I think, everybody's experience is different. I will say, the average age of entry into prostitution is 14 to 16 years old. So for many, substances become a way to cope with trauma. And the reality is, what we know about substance use today is most of it is linked to early childhood trauma, right? And so, it's hard to say what came first, the chicken or the egg, right? And so oftentimes what happens is people in prostitution end up having, using substances as a way to survive what's happening to them. And then oftentimes substance use disorder can itself be a vulnerability that traffickers and people exploit, right? And so it's difficult to say like which, came first.
So as part of that, how do you help people who come to you today? Like you must have a whole range of services. What is the treatment method?
So it's really just allowing them to take power back in their life, right? So I think part of what's challenging is in many recovery models, what it looks like is people on the outside telling survivors what they need to do to get well, right? And it's actually asking survivors what they need to do to get well and then connecting them to those relevant community resources and support that they need, right? Everybody's pathway to exiting the life is different, and just like everybody's pathway to recovery is different, right? And so it's allowing them to decide for themselves what goals are important to them, right? And then trying to help support them in the process of achieving those goals, if that makes sense.
So Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley from Massachusetts had proposed within criminal justice reform, decriminalizing prostitution. What's your reaction to that?
So I feel like she's very misguided. And, the interesting piece to me is, many of the young women in her district that are lured into the commercial sex industry and significantly harmed by it. And yet she's proposing legislation that will increase the demand for those vulnerable young bodies. When we're talking about criminal justice reform, we believe that survivors of prostitution should not be criminalized. We support the equality model, which is still holding buyers and traffickers accountable, and providing pathways out for vulnerable people in prostitution, right? And so when we talk about decriminalizing prostitution as a whole, what people don't realize is what she's saying is we're going to decriminalize pimping and brothel keeping and sex buying, right? So now here are pimps become managers, right? And these makeshift brothels pop up, and men that are deterred from buying sex because it's illegal now will, right? And so there's not enough willing participants to meet that demand, right? That is going to increase. So who ends up being brought into the life is people are trafficked into the life to meet that demand for commercial sex because it's lucrative.
You had mentioned that when you exited human trafficking, being trafficked, you found your voice. Here you are, so many years later, you're married, you have a little boy. How can you give people encouragement that there is another way and that they are made for more?
Mm-hmm. So I think, for us, it's like, we support women while they're involved in prostitution, while they're attempting to exit prostitution, while they're in jail, when they're housed, when they're not. It's not for us to decide that they want to exit, but it is for us to help them exit when they say that that's what they want to do, right? And I think our model itself encourages that. So, I think how do you keep people out of prostitution? You give them viable employment opportunities, right? And that's what Lyft does in and of itself, right? I mean, we've created employment opportunities for almost 20 survivors of commercial sexual exploitation in our community, right? And knowing that you can come through this and, lead programs and help your sisters that are still trapped in the life. I think that in itself instills hope and the belief that exiting is possible.
But in your darkest hour, did you ever believe that you would be sitting here as the head of a nonprofit helping people exit?
No, I didn't. I think my greatest hope for myself was that I was going to die of an overdose and not at the hands of a violent sex buyer. And so for me, I didn't think that, and that's why I think it's so important for people in our community to be out there and supporting survivors and letting them know that there are other options and there are pathways out.